boy, there's so many people already here, Rip. We've got Lori and Diane. Oh, no, more than that. We've got Betty Ann and Lori and Diana and Sharon and Brad and Nikki and Diane, and it's going to keep growing. So welcome everybody to another episode of Healthy Living Live. I'm Chef AJ, and I am honored to have plant-based royalty on the show today, none other than Rip Esselstyn. He is the author of the New York Times best-selling Engine-2 book and many other books such as My Beef with Meat and the Engine-2 7-Day Rescue. But today we're going to be talking about the newest book he wrote with his sister Jane called the Engine-2 Cookbook. It is a beautiful book with more than 130 lip-smacking, rib-sticking, body-slimming recipes to live plant strong. And it's got just absolutely beautiful photographs in it. So welcome, Rip.
Thank you, AJ. It's a pleasure. I don't think I've ever been on your show before. This kind of a show.
Not this way. I interviewed you once when I was doing my weekly teleclass by phone, but never live. So, well, you know, you were supposed to be a guest on my actual television show, Healthy Living, but because of the snowstorm, you sent John Joseph. Yeah, you sent John Joseph in your place, which, by the way, he was fantastic. So
he is quite the personality.
He's great. And you know, he's such an ethical vegan that he refused to wear makeup unless it was proven to him that it was cruelty free.
Oh,
so
wow.
I respect that.
Wow.
I respect it. Yeah, absolutely. So welcome everybody. Yeah.
So you dial up all the people that were on your TV show, huh?
Well, you know, my first guest was your father, and boy, Rip, you are so handsome, and you are looking more and more like him every day, and I mean that as the most sincere compliment, because there's nobody handsomer in the plant-based movement than Essie. You're a close second.
That's very kind of you. It's funny how in the last couple of years, and I don't know if it's because of the way my hair has gotten whiter, you know, more wrinkles, whatever it is, but every once in a while I'll catch myself looking in the mirror and going, "Oh my God, that is my dad."
You know? It's incredible. It's incredible.
Like, really? Wow.
Absolutely. Hey, Rip, raise yourself up a little bit because your head's being cut off because I just put your, yes, I don't want your, perfect. I don't want that handsome face cut off. So let's see. Diana says, tell Rip that Rip's Big Bowl is the best cereal on the face of the earth. Absolutely. Yeah, my husband loves it too. Congratulations. Rip is everywhere. He's going to be on the cruise in a couple days if any of you are going. He's got a whole food line. You know, if you want to know a lot about Rip, I think one of the best interviews you've done was on the Rich Roll podcast recently. I listened to that and I really got to know your story. That was a lot of it was heartfelt. I didn't know about how your dad told you that, you know, it's time to grow up and get a job. That was really, really, I love that. So guys, go over to Rich Roll and listen to the whole story of Rip. But today we're going to talk a little bit about this wonderful cookbook. I've so far made 2 recipes. This is your mango lemon dressing. Delicious, by the way. And why is my light so bad? Sorry about that. And what's neat about that dressing, Rip, is that even before I added the hot sauce, it was good.
Right.
So you can add as much as you're little. So that was delicious. And then the other thing I made just now was the sweet potato croutons. I'll try to show you guys what these look like. This is great. These are great. Nobody be eating floury, all kinds of processed croutons. This is great. I've done it with butternut squash, but the sweet potatoes are brilliant because I always have sweet potatoes.
Yeah. No, you know what? The Engine-2 cookbook, it was time for Engine-2 to throw down a full page true, authentic cookbook. So, you know, Engine-2 and, you know, My Beef with Meat, which we renamed Plant Strong a couple of years ago. Right. And then even the Engine-2 7-Day Rescue Diet, these are all basically, the first half are polemics where I talk about different things. And then the second half is usually 125 to 150 recipes. But for the most part, there's no photos. And we just decided it was time to do it. And so I partnered. You know, because I couldn't partner with you, I partnered with my sister Jane, right? And Jane, you know, Jane has come so far over the last 6 years with her cooking skills and just creating these really wonderful, as the subtitle says, rib sticking, you know, lip smacking, body slimming recipes. I mean, what's there not to like when a dish can meet all those requirements, right? Look at that, right? But
the photos are absolutely beauul. I mean, one of my favorite, I love this, bear scat. I mean, just the fact that it's named bear scat is just amazing.
I know. We love that. And another thing about that, now that's epic brats. And have you ever, I don't know if you looked at that recipe or not, AJ, but what makes
I read the entire book, and it got some great pictures of you and Jane in it as well.
Yeah. And a lot of the photos actually harken back to my old firefighter days. And so there's firefighter hose in there, or there's a pickhead axe in there, or my old firefighting gear or boots. So I encourage your viewers, if they buy the book, look closely at the photos and look for some of the old firefighting memorabilia I have that's kind of scattered throughout there. But yeah, the brats. Let me talk for a second about the brats, because the brats, to me, it's a really special recipe. It was the invention of this woman named Renee Demand, who was a Whole Food Market store team leader. It took her 2 years to really perfect it, and she was looking for the great. How do you make a plant strong hot dog that doesn't fall apart, and you can grill it, you can bake it, you can put it in a skillet, and she put all these wonderful ingredients, whether it's beans, rice, oats, spices, caramelized onions, red bell peppers, in a brown rice wrap, right? Who would have thought? And typically with a brown rice wrap, we use it for a spring roll, right? And we put in, whatever it is. We put in bell peppers and carrots and rice, and we do nori rolls and stuff like that. But here you can do American, you can do Indian, you can do Thai, you can do Mexican, and these things, all I got to say is you got to try them to believe how well they perform in the oven, on the barbecue, in the skillet, whatever. And it's amazing.
We've got some comments I want to share with you. Yeah. Diana says, your interview was awesome. I agree. Betty Ann wants to know when you're coming back to South Jersey. Now, you have on your website, engine2.com, your speaking appearances for the next several months if people want to see you in person, because that's really how you spend your time, right, Rip? Going to various Whole Foods and being like an ambassador of healthy eating. Yeah,
because of my relationship with Whole Food Market stores, I'm a healthy eating kind of ambassador of sorts. Typically in the months of January through June, I travel all over the country to different regions, visiting stores. And this trip, or this go around, 2018, I'll visit right around 80 stores until early June. So yeah, go to engine2.com, click on events, and then click on Rip's tour schedule. And I'd love to have anybody come out and give them an Engine 2 high five.
Well, I think you're in California in March, so I'll definitely come to one of your appearances and say hi. Now, Donna's saying that her Whole Foods is carrying less of the Engine 2 foods these days. So how can we get more of the Engine 2 foods in her particular Whole Foods? She lives near Roseville. That's near Sacramento.
That's near Sacramento? Mm-hmm. Well, so the Engine 2 products are a Whole Food Market in-house brand. It's one of their private label brands. So if they're not carrying it, it might be because they're out of stock. We just actually had a 25% off sale the whole month of January. But the reality is that they should carry almost all the Engine 2 products. There's some that have been discontinued, but we're constantly adding new products to the assortment. So we just came out with burritos. We just came out with ravioli.
Your burritos are square instead of
they're squarito burritos. Yes.
That's good.
And we have a roasted veggie. We have a tempeh ranchero, and we have a potato. You love the potato. We have a potato and green chili, and they're all outstanding and made with 100% whole grain tortilla. Yeah.
Are any of your Engine 2 products from recipes in any of your books?
Yes. So for example, the Rip's Big Bowl cereal.
Oh, right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That is, I think that might be the first recipe in the Engine-2 diet book, and it's a mainstay. The granola,
Mm-hmm.
is from My Beef with Meat. You know, we use the Engine-2 recipes as inspiration, obviously, for all of our products, but a lot of them have to be tweaked, and you know, to be shelf stable, or you know, to be frozen, or to meet the whatever shelf life it is. But we don't compromise when it comes to sodium, when it comes to added sugars, when it comes to, you know, no added oils, and things of that nature.
And there's never added oils in any of your products. I don't know why my shirt. I'm wearing an Engine-2 shirt, but it's there we go. It's like I'm on an angle today. It's only available at the Engine-2 website, not at Whole Foods, right?
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Yeah. No, maybe you're just feeling a little lopsided today.
It's funny. I'm looking at myself in the thing. So Betty Ann wants you to come back to South Jersey. And Diana says your kale blueberry muffin recipe is insane. Leslie loves both of us. Thank you. Love YouTube with the Esselstyn ladies. Hey, so I don't know if you're allowed to answer this. Who's a better cook, Jane or your mom?
Well, they're different types of cooks. So Ann is fearless, right? And Ann is not afraid to mess up completely and utterly. And she's never embarrassed. She never feels bad. She just kind of like, you know, Ann, she just keeps trudging along, right? Jane, although Jane is pretty darn fearless, she's not quite as fearless as Ann. And I think that Jane, and don't tell Ann I said this, but I think Jane may have a better just intuition about what foods go together well, spices, dressings, than Ann does. But Ann is just, you know, she will just try anything and everything until she gets it right.
Well, your mom's recipes from the original Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease book, not the cookbook. Your mom's recipes were fantastic. They're still some of our family's favorites. So your mom is awesome. You know, it's funny, when you were doing the Engine-2 conferences and you used to have the Iron Chefs, you always put Jane and Ann on a team together. I think it would have been more fun to have them against each other.
I completely agree. Yeah.
That would have been. Yeah, because I think of you, like, to me, the Esselstyns and the Campbells, you guys are like the first family of plant-based. You know, you're both like royalty. It's like, that would be a great, you know, if they ever brought the show Family Feud back on, and maybe it is on, I don't know, the Esselstyns versus the Campbells, that would be the match I want to see. You know?
Yeah.
So Sharon's saying it looks like she needs another cookbook. Y'all do. It's called the Engine-2 Cookbook. Beautiful picture, delicious. And I love your recipes are so family friendly, because I get a lot, you know, my recipes are more geared to people that are really trying to lose weight. They're very strict parameters, but your recipes, families would love, you know, children would love these, almost all the recipes.
So let me speak to that for a sec. So for example, you know, we have 7 different categories in the cookbook. We have breakfast. We've got sauces, spreads, dressing, dips, and hummuses that are all one category, because making the right sauce or spread or hummus really does a world of wonder for a lot of our dishes. And then we have appetizers and sides, and some of the things we have here. We have the Texas tater tot, which is basically, you know, a potato that you cut up and it looks like an armadillo. That's, you know, when we spice it up, it's really delicious. We've got deck gun nachos. That was one of the favorites at the Engine-2 Firehouse. Was, you know, we take corn tortillas, slice them up, bake them ourselves, and then we put on, you know, black beans. We put on onions. We put on salsa. Obviously, some, you know, avocado or guacamole, things of that nature. We've got kickin' corn muffins, beer biscuits. So, I mean, this is like, all this tries to harken back. Pizza. Picasso pizza. Yeah, Picasso pizza. Hilarious. We've got a whole soups and sandwiches section because we love soups. We have suppers and one bowl meals, which is where the Epic Brats is, and the Yo Adrian burgers.
I love the eggplant rounds.
The barbecue
Those are
eggplant
delicious.
rounds. Yeah.
And photography in this book is really quite beautiful too as well. It just jumps off the page. So let me just read you some of the comments. Julianne says she loves seeing you in Cincinnati. Carrie wants to know if the Engine 2 products will ever be available in the British Columbia store in Canada. I guess maybe they're not available there yet.
Well, fingers crossed. You know, until Engine 2 becomes a let's just say a bigger brand, a bigger Whole Foods brand, it just doesn't make sense to go through all the packaging requirements. Has to, you know, you also have to have it in French to go into Canada.
Oh,
and so there's a fair amount of metric. So there's a fair expense in doing that. And so right now, it's not going to happen anytime soon, but you know, hopefully in 2 or 3 years.
Cool. Brad wants to know if the Engine 2 hamburger buns were discontinued.
So unfortunately, Brad, those were one of the products that were discontinued. It had our buns, unfortunately, had an identity crisis, and the Whole Food team members didn't know where to place them in the store. People didn't know if they were an English muffin, if they were bagels, if they were a hamburger bun. They typically were stored in the freezer section in the lowest part, and you know where people very infrequently go. And so, unfortunately, that was a casualty of identity crisis.
I think you know, I know, like you say, the products fight for shelf space and where in the store. It's really important. But I also think if you had called them Rip's Hot Sexy Buns, I think they would have done very well, because everybody would have liked to put Rip buns in the mouth. And I think just calling them hamburger buns, you know, people, we're vegan, but Rip's buns. See, I think you should bring them back with the new name.
You know what? I will see what I can do, and you are a marketing genius.
That was my minor in college. I actually was going to become an advertising copywriter at one point, and then life took a different turn. So Monique says she can't wait to see you at the Whole Foods in Brea on March 7th. And Mary says can't wait to see you in New York this May. And Robin loved seeing you in Atlanta last year. Diane wants to know, how do we get the Engine 2 Hot Bar in stores in Colorado?
The Engine 2 Hot Bar.
Yeah.
Well, what I would do is I would go and I would ask to talk to the prepared food team leader, and I would say, listen, we really adore the Engine 2 meals. Is there any way that on Tuesdays and Thursdays you could generate 3 or 4 recipes from one of the Engine 2 books and have them on the hot bar? And that way you can spread the message to your family, friends, whoever that also are eating this way. And then you'll know if you go on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 6 and 9 p.m., there'll be several offerings, and it'll be a win-win because Whole Foods will know that people will gravitate towards these dishes. And then you'll be able to have these healthy plant-strong dishes as well.
Right. And just make sure if you request it and they deliver, you got to support it, because we had a restaurant here that had, like, everybody said, well, there's no SOS free food. And this restaurant made extraordinary efforts. And then nobody came to, they said that, so guys, you have to support it. So Gordon says Whole Foods in Las Vegas does not carry Engine 2 products. Well, that's weird.
Well, does he know which one?
Gordon, if you're still here, type which one. Lisa said she saw you recently in Chandler, Arizona. Leslie loves the blueberry vanilla granola. And let's see what else. Shirley's just saying hi. Ellie says, good to see us both. These go really fast. Andrea says, your mom is awesome. She is awesome. Cynthia says, come to Philadelphia. And I don't want to miss any of these comments. A lot of people saying hello. Brad saying, hope the Engine 2 products expand. And I drive by the original Engine 2. Oh, so Roz, lives in Austin, and she says she drives by the original Engine 2. You said a lot of those guys aren't there anymore, though, right? They've retired or moved on?
Yeah, no, none of the people that I worked with back between 2003, actually 2001 and 2009 are still there. Everybody's moved on. They've either retired, they've promoted. One of my very, very good friends, he broke his ankle, and and moved to dispatch. So none of them are there, except for the battalion chief. The battalion chief that gave me more flack than any other human being because of the way I ate. And before I left, he did the Engine-2 28-day challenge, and he dropped his cholesterol like 100 points, dropped 18 pounds, and became, I'm not going to say a convert, but became a big fan of me and what I was doing.
Well, you put them on the map. That's incredible. So the original guy that was in the vet, the guy that had the 300 cholesterol that started this all, are you still in touch with him, and is he still plant-based?
So his name is JR, and he's now a captain at another fire station. And I need to go and visit with JR and the guys at his station and check in, because I don't know. I know that JR is doing a world better than how he used to be. As far as if he's like 100%, I don't know. I would doubt it, but I don't know.
Right. So Karen's looking forward to seeing you in Oakville, Canada in May. A lot of people are thanking you for your dedication. They say they need a store, I guess, in Post Falls, Idaho. Not every place apparently has a Whole Foods, but Engine-2 crackers, Betty Ann asked about. You have crackers, though, right, in your line?
We have the, here, let me...
Yeah, show us some of your products. Didn't you say in the Rich Roll podcast you have, like, 77?
We have the crisp bread crackers. We have 3 varieties of these. We have a seeds and spice. We have a triple seed, and we also have the original. And these are like dynamite. You can almost use these as an open face flat for a hummus and a nice little veggie open face sandwich. Yeah. Didn't
you say on the Rich Roll podcast you had something like 70 products now?
No, we've actually got right around now that we don't have the buns. the Rip hot sexy buns.
Sexy buns.
I think we're probably down to about 43, 44. The term is SKUs, AJ. 44 SKUs. So, for example, for your listeners that don't know, this is one SKU. And now in the crisp bread cracker category, we've got 3 SKUs. So we've got the triple seed, the seed and spice, and the original. So we've got 44 SKUs and across 14 different categories. So we have crackers, we have hot cereals, we have cold cereals, we have granolas, we've got chilies, right? I mean, we got soups, we've got a Moroccan stew, we've got a firehouse chili. Our firehouse chili is it's literally flying off the shelves. We can't keep enough on stock. We've got pasta sauces. We have a firehouse kale, and we have a tomato basil. We've got wraps. We've got an ancient grain sprouted 100% whole grain wrap. We've got hummuses. We have 3 SKUs of hummus right now. Our best seller.
What about salsa? People are asking for salsa. Is there an E2 salsa yet? You know what?
Here's the thing. If we're going to create a product, we want to really differentiate ourselves from anything else that's on the shelves. And so we tried a salsa back about 5 years ago, and it was fantastic. Everybody loved it. It was made fresh, but we had a supply chain issue with it basically blowing up because, we were using just such fantastically healthy ingredients, low sodium, all these things. So until we can figure that one out again, we're not doing salsa, but I would love to reintroduce another salsa.
So Lainey's saying she loves your Raise the Roof lasagna. Maybe that could be a frozen offering because people seem to love that so much.
Well, it's funny you say that. So here's some stuff that so these are some samples that we did literally 7 years ago. There you go. There's a frozen sweet potato lasagna. Right?
Cool.
Yeah. There was a frozen shepherd's pie. We also have a mac and nut cheese and a chili. But these are all things that we're playing around with and hope to get to one day. Yeah.
Katie wants to know if there's any gluten-free products in the works.
So I'd say that to Katie, great question. And I would say over half of our products are gluten-free, right? Between our let's see here. I believe our granolas are gluten-free. We actually just discontinued a gluten-free brown rice wrap that unfortunately it because of the no added oil and stuff like that, it was cracking. We had some performance issues with it. But let me just take a quick look here. You know, obviously our hummuses, our chilies, our pasta sauces, our burgers. You know, we've got 4 amazing Plant Strong burgers that are the cleanest burger out there. And just to like give you your viewers an example of what we're talking about, I just read about, you know, that corn product that's out there, Q-U-O-R-N,
right?
Yeah, corn. Well, it's basically just a highly processed, you know, fake meat. There's also this burger called the Beyond Meat burger. That's a Frankenburger. It's the first 5 ingredients. You've got 3 different kinds of oil. You've got canola oil, safflower oil, and coconut oil. You've got maltodextrin, which is sugar, and you've got pea protein isolates. Not one whole food ingredient, okay? Calorie dense and through the gills with sodium. The Engine-2 burgers, very calorie light, 100 calories a patty, a burger, about 100 milligrams of sodium, and the ingredients are like oats, brown rice, black beans, caramelized onions, bell peppers. So it's all whole food ingredients that are fantastic. And and my favorite is the white bean and Tuscan kale. Yeah.
So some people must be joining late. So I'll just say, I'm interviewing Rip Esselstyn, best-selling author of the New York Times bestseller Engine-2 book, but we're talking about his new book, the Engine-2 Cookbook, and we're also talking about his wonderful product line of Engine-2 products, because people are saying, well, can we get them at Kroger's and at Costco? No, because they are exclusive to Whole Foods. You can only get them at Whole Foods. So if you don't have a Whole Foods near you, it's time to move, because that's my prerequisite, Rip, that I have to live like within 5 miles of a Whole Foods. And Angie must have joined late because she says, why can't we get them in Canada? Rip was explaining previously that it has to be, there's a lot going on with Canada because the labels have to be in French. So watch this broadcast again. It'll be available right when we're done. And why not share it right now on your other pages? Just use the share button. Barbara wants to know where to get your book. I'm assuming Amazon, right?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, Books A Million, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. A lot of the Whole Foods carry it now. Yeah. Anywhere.
Yeah. Andre loves the burgers. And let's see. Katie was saying she loved the gluten-free wrap, and damn that it's not available. They're asking for gluten-free crackers as well, and they love the burgers.
Yeah. Well, you know, the whole gluten-free thing is such a, you know, a kind of a rabbit hole. And Engine-2, obviously, when we can do, like, for example, this product never made it to shelf, but it was this close. Look at that. Can you read what that says?
Wow, blueberry waffles?
And it says gluten-free.
Wow, they look delicious.
Oh my God, they were amazing. However, when we tried to commercialize these, when we were making a run for 10 hours, our first run, after 6 hours, because we don't do any oil on the you know, the waffle irons, they started sticking, and there was this almost 70% scrap rate. So
that's not good.
The manufacturer we were working with was just like, we don't know a solution to this. We can't move forward, right, with this. Yeah. So I can't tell you how many times we've had that, you know, whether it's with waffles, whether it's with frozen, you know, entrees, whether it has been with doing a really like amazing gluten-free chip that's, you know, it's baked, no added sugar, low sodium, all these things. It doesn't pass the shelf life requirements or whatever. So in some ways we kind of have our hands tied, but we're not going to sacrifice our values.
People are asking if they can buy the Engine-2 foods on Amazon.
So that's a great question. It just depends on the market you're in. And if you got, yeah. So if you got like Amazon Kitchen or Amazon Fresh or some of these places, you can definitely order it. Where there markets where there's Instacart, you can even like get it drop shipped right to your door within 2 hours. But I would just tell people to go on Amazon.com and see. But a lot of the Engine-2 products, especially like the ones that are shelf stable, you can order on Amazon Prime and, you know, free delivery, all that jazz.
Right. Yeah. Kelly's saying that her husband is bringing your cookbook to South America for her because they're missionaries. That's great. Valerie loves the new book. Angela just ordered hers. We know Sharon is watching this and is going to get hers. And as great as the Engine-2 products are, guys, we still want you to get the book and do some cooking on your own. I'm trying to get it out of the light right there. You know, it's interesting because you used to be a firefighter, but you're still sort of in the business of saving lives. You're just doing it a little bit differently now. Yeah, well, yeah, a lot differently, right? But this way, it's much more powerful. It's much more impactful, and we're putting out the fires before they ever start. And these are the fires of chronic Western disease, right, AJ? Wow. But let me say that, again, the reason why these are lip-smacking, rib-sticking recipes is like I go and the first couple recipes, it's 100% whole grain blueberry pancakes. And then we've got Sedona sweet potato waffles. I mean, I don't know about you, but I love waffles. Then we've got these banana big hit waffles. We've got chickpea omelets. You know, every once in a while I just crave an omelet with those, veggies inside of it. And that chickpea omelet totally does the trick. Jane and I we probably culled through over 450 recipes to narrow it down to the top 130. And wow. Yeah. Let me also share with you and your viewers this, AJ. So one of the things that I have in this cookbook is I have a lot of inspirational stories, as you can imagine, AJ. And when you're out doing a lecture or a talk or a book signing, the number of people that come up to you and say, I can't thank you enough. You've changed my life. You saved my life. And I always say, listen, you saved your own life by just being open-minded enough to hear this message of health and hope. And it's such a simple, on many levels, such a simple change, but we tend to overcomplicate it, right? But so I have over 30 different, and I had to cull through over 100, but over 30 different really powerful testimonies that are in here that I think are really riveting. So I want to read one to you and your viewers, okay? And the only reason I'm reading this is because, and I want to warn viewers, this is X-rated, okay? Ooh, then definitely read it. This is X-rated. I think it's very appropriate for, the Chef AJ show here. Absolutely. All right, you ready? Yep. Hey, man, gotta thank you. A few months back, I heard you speak, and you were saying the first sign of heart disease was erectile dysfunction. Well, I didn't want to admit it, but let's just say things in that department were not rock solid like they used to be. I could get it up, yeah, but it just wasn't really that up. Not like I'd like it to be anyway. I thought it was me just getting older, because I thought I was eating healthy and I was eating crap like coconut oil, meat, more meat, and I had lost weight, so I ignored it. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something to what you said, even though my paleo friend said you were off your friggin' rocker. I went to the doctor and found out I was in bad shape. I had no clue. I was only 32. Wow. What the hell? Heart disease? So my doctor tells me it just runs in my family, which I call bullshit on. I go on your eating plan, cut out all the flesh and the cow milk. So it's now 2 months. My doctor said that my cholesterol has dropped 70 points. Yeah, great, whatever. But you know what stopped dropping, buddy? That's right. Everything in that department is flying high and proud. I feel like I have superhuman
superhuman strength. I could balance on it. I had been on paleo for a while, got a little thinner, but turns out that going paleo makes your penis sadio. Bring on the healthy carbs, the potatoes, the bean burgers, and the fruit. Guys need to know they definitely won't get more manly with meat. Thanks, man. I owe you one.
That is so priceless. You know, there's a t-shirt that says kale is the new beef. It should say kale is the new Viagra. Seriously.
No, it's true. It's true.
And one of the things I want to thank you for, and there's other people to thank, because, for instance, Josh Lajani is watching now, and we've got all the other wonderful athletes like Rich Roll and Derek Treesize and Robert Cheek and Matt Frazier. There's so many now, too many to name. But I think
Josh is on the line.
Yeah, Josh Lajani actually said that the hummus is the favorite of his E2 products, and that what you're doing now to save people, he says, is a scaled up way to be a first responder. But I think you were probably the first one on the scene as somebody that had been a professional athlete to come out really and write or at least you were the first one that I'm aware of to come out and write a book and be, you know, speaking all these places. And I think as somebody that's been vegan for almost 41 years, I can get a lot of people to go vegan by using weight loss is the reason, but it's not like I get a lot of men to go vegan. And when they see handsome, fit, vibrant men like you, it makes it look like it's not a pussy thing to do. And so what you're doing, I couldn't reach the people that you're reaching. So I just want to thank you because, you know.
Thank you, AJ. And
absolutely.
Give a shout out to Josh Lajani. I mean, I was in New Orleans probably 3 weeks ago. I stayed with him for 2 days. He drove me around. He was epic. And you talk about like just a total, you know, guy's guy, down to earth, rock solid human being.
Yeah.
Josh, you are something special. Thanks.
Hey, Josh, I need to interview you, Josh. So if you're still watching, email me or text me and we'll set a date. Judy says that plant stock is already sold out for August in North Carolina. Is there a waiting list?
So plant stock, you know, yeah, we've got a problem in that too many people want to come to plant stock this year. So it's 6 months away. We're not sold out, but we are sold out if you want to stay on the campus. So the campus holds about 450, 500 people, and we're already at about 475 people. We're going to cut it off at about 625. But for those people that want to come, you just have to stay in one of the local hotels. So it's not as ideal, but literally it's just right down the mountain, 2 or 3 miles away. Unlike plant stock at our family farm, where we had people, you know, having to stay 45 miles away.
Yeah.
And we've got an amazing lineup this year.
Yeah, tell us about it. And of course, the website is engine2.com if you want more information on this event or where Rip will be speaking in the next few months.
Yeah, so we have one of the kindred spirits of my father. We have Kim Williams, the former president of the American College of Cardiology, who will be presenting on his experience, you know, with a plant-based diet and heart disease. Obviously, we have a man who's been on fire now for several years. We got Michael Greger. You know, How Not to Die. We've got Robin Shutkan, who has done amazing work with the microbiome. That is just this whole new exciting frontier, and how this is now being viewed as a whole new organ. We have Sailesh Rao, excuse me if I didn't pronounce that right, who will be talking kind of about the environmental impact of eating this way, and he's very, very he's so at peace with himself and the universe. He's a very, very special human being. Dr. Michelle McMacken is coming in from New York City, and she's just a fantastic presenter. Obviously, we have Adam Sudd, who's got such a tear-jerking, amazing transformational story. We have our buddies, Nina and Randa Nelson, right, who are going to be talking about their new book, the Clear Skin Diet, who they were stricken with this awful, debilitating, you know, systemic kind of, you know, acne. And they as you know, AJ, they were already plant-based, but they had to like do a deep dive into doing a low-fat, whole food plant-based diet, not any of the processed, refined, junk food, and eliminate all the excessive high-fatty plant-based foods like avocados and nuts and seeds and tofu and tempeh. And literally overnight, they were able to stop the acne progression, turn it around. We were talking about this yesterday, AJ, how it seems like the silver bullet for everything when it comes to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, slowing down, preventing a lot of the major cancers, autoimmune diseases, is a low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet.
Yeah, it's so interesting because when we were testing the technology yesterday, we brought up, Nina and Amanda, that the diet that they recommend to their followers to reverse acne is the same one I recommend to everybody for ultimate weight loss, which is the same one Rip recommends to everybody in his 7-Day Rescue Facebook group for health and weight loss, which is the same one that Dr. Esselstyn is recommending to his heart patients for the reversal of heart disease. So it's not like, I go to these conferences and it's not like you need one diet for heart disease and one diet for diabetes and one diet for autoimmune disease and one diet for weight loss or one diet for acne. We're all eating the same diet, even though we may be doing it for different reasons. In the operative words, it's a very low fat, oil-free, whole food, plant-based diet. Some of us go a little bit further with the sugar and the flour and the salt for various reasons. But like when I give my lecture on the secrets to ultimate weight loss, your dad uses one of my slides. It's like it's the same diet that Dr. Esselstyn recommends to his patients,
Yeah. So as BJ says, one size fits all, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. So do you have in your Engine 2 hummuses, is there tahini in all the flavors? Because we have someone here who's Sharanya, whose kids, I guess, must have a seed allergy. So do all of the hummuses have tahini? And is there a chance that maybe one would come out that didn't have tahini?
So we don't have tahini. We do have some sesame seeds. I guess you could say that tahini is ground up sesame seeds.
Right.
But we do have some sesame seeds for sure. Yeah. But let me just finish. So we also have at Plant Stock, we have this, never had them before. Dean and Ayesha, I may not be pronouncing that right, Surzai, that wrote the Alzheimer's solution and the groundbreaking research that they're now doing to show that, once again, a low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet can really slow down, prevent, and they're showing even in some cases reverse Alzheimer's, right? And so you're just not laying down the plaque formations between the cell pockets of your brain. So it's amazing. And then we have Aaron Spitz, who's this amazing urologist. He's highlighted in the new upcoming documentary, The Game Changers. He wrote a book. It's called The Penis Book, talking all about virility and being a male and a plant-based diet. And he is so fun, so funny, and he's a regular he makes regular appearances on Dr. Phil and the doctors, and he's very charismatic. A lot of fun. And of course, we have Ann, Essie, Jane, and a special guest talent this year, Puddles Pity Party, Puddles the Clown. If anybody knows about America's Got Talent, he made it to the finals. He's the 7-foot clown who sings. He's got the most amazing, just full, beautiful voice you've ever heard. And he's going to be there for the Friday night entertainment. Saturday, we're showing the Game Changers film. We'll have James Wilkes there. It's going to be a barn burner.
And this is in August, correct? This is in August?
August 17th, 18th, 19th. Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds absolutely, absolutely incredible. So what I want to ask you is, most people remember the day they lost their virginity. Do you remember the first time you ever had kale?
It probably was at when I used to eat, atrociously, when I was at a Denny's restaurant and they just had it, as a little bit of garnish on the side of the plate. And I probably was like, what's this? And probably took a bite and I was like, oh, that's awful. Right. But other than that, I can't remember. I have it so often now.
Right. The reason I say that is because you just said that maybe you didn't like it the first time you tasted it, but now it's really a staple in your life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I try and have several servings of kale or some other green leafy vegetable every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Good.
For sure.
Cool. Well, you guys, any questions for Rip? Because he has got to get back to work creating more delicious products for us. Oh, coming to Henderson, Nevada. Very cool. Hey, Danielle, we're having a conference in Las Vegas in August. You should come to that as well. Oh, you're going to take your shirt off. Great.
I'm getting hot. You're making me all hot and bothered.
It's just been such a pleasure talking to you. If you just tuned in, we're talking about Rip's new book. Sorry about the Engine-2 cookbook. Beautiful book, family-friendly recipes. I've made 2 recipes so far from them. The mango lemon dressing. You can make it as spicy or as little spicy as you want. And I also made these sweet potato croutons. Look at these guys. Delicious. I can't wait till I can go eat all this food when we're done.
AJ,
so
let me also give a quick pitch for anybody that wants to have an amazing vacation with the Esselstyn family, with Ann, with Essie, with Jane, with myself, with people like Doug Lyle and Michael Clapper. Please consider coming to an Engine-2 immersion. We've got 2 available for the public in 2018. We have one in June in the Black Mountains of North Carolina. It's a 5-day immersion, and these are medical immersions, meaning we test people on the way in with cholesterol, weight, blood pressure, and then again on the way out. And then we also have one in October in the Red Rock Mountains of Sedona, Arizona. And we'd love to have anybody join us. They're epic, and I've been holding these now since 2010. You, AJ, were like amazing back in like 11 and 12 when I held them in Austin, Texas.
Nice.
And we had more fun with skits and presentations.
Oh yeah, Jeopardy, plant-based Jeopardy, one of my favorites.
I love it.
So Rip, Sharon wants to know, how do your kids like their awesome food, and what are their favorites?
Well, so they love waffles, they love pancakes, they love rice and beans, they love breakfast tacos, they love mangoes. And you know what's funny? I was talking to somebody just the other day. I didn't even have a mango until I graduated from college. I was never exposed to them, right? I mean, growing up, I had apples, oranges, bananas, grapes. It seemed like it was very limited. But my kids are exposed to, kiwis, grapefruits, mangoes, star fruits, every melon under the sun. It's kind of wild. They love all fruits. They do not like any green leafy vegetable yet. Not yet. But they do like broccoli.
Nice. Yeah, that's the thing we hear about the most, is that people have such a hard time transitioning their children that were raised on the standard American diet or even the junk food version of the vegan diet to get them to eat fruits and vegetables, because they're so addicted to things like sugar and dairy, and they find it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Look at this. I can't wait. This is the next one I'm going to try. It's called Magnetic Wild Rice Salad.
I want you to try? I want you to try the Yo Adrian burger.
What page? I'll look it up.
Yo Adrian burger. It is right here. It is on page 215. All right. And I think you'll find it to be one of the best homemade plant-based burgers you've ever made in your life.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And they're really gorgeous, and they come out perfectly, and they're really.
I'm gonna try, and you know what? It doesn't look like it has beans, which is perfect, because I have a client that's actually was allergic to legumes. These look amazing.
Yeah.
This will be the next one I try. I promise you that. Okay, so Kelly is saying her family struggles with most oil-free dressings because you don't have the Engine-2 cookbooks, because they have delicious dressings. There's whole sections, Kelly, in all of Rip's books and even in Ann Esselstyn's books with delicious, delicious oil-free dressings, such as the one that I just made, the mango lemon dressing. Natalia wants to know what your kid's favorite food is. Foods.
My kid's favorite foods?
Yeah.
I already said that, didn't I?
Oh yeah, I think you did. Sorry, I'm just reading them as they come along.
I know.
So Leslie wants to know if I made the sweet potato croutons in the air fryer. I made them in the oven because the very first time I ever do a recipe, I do it as written. But I'll tell you, that would be great and it would take less time. Rip, if you don't have an air fryer, you and your mom, you got to get one because it is a game changer when it comes to making crisp fries. Let me tell you,
Air fryer and an Instapot, thanks to AJ, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me see. I just wanted, okay. So here's the thing. So we're almost out of time, but I want to thank you for what your family did for me.
I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you.
We can keep talking. Well, you know what's interesting is, so I met Rip, and I can remember exactly because your mom, I met you the day before your mom broke her hip, which was Father's Day of 2009. The whole Esselstyn family came to my house for dinner. And at that time, I was still a vegan. I've been vegan for almost 41 years. I was not eating sugar, oil, or salt because I had heard his dad give a lecture in August of 2008, and I stopped eating sugar, oil, and salt. But I was still 50 pounds overweight, and I could not figure out why. And then I had the Esselstyns to my house for dinner, Rip and Ann and Essie, and I've never seen people eat so much food in my life. I remember your mom ate so much she had to lay down on the floor. Well, back then I didn't understand calorie density, which is what I teach today when I lecture and in the Ultimate Weight Loss Program. And the biggest problem was as I was eating nuts. I was eating, even a little amount for me was too much. And so I really learned that if you want to be thin and healthy and gorgeous and vibrant like an Esselstyn, you have to eat like an Esselstyn, which isn't just a vegan diet free of oil, but it's a low-fat diet. And when I started eating like them, I started looking more and more like them. And so I wrote a little song about this that I'd like to share right now, and you've heard it.
No, a song.
We have to end with a song, so it goes like this. Esselstyns, meet the Esselstyns. They're a really skinny family. From the town of Cleveland, you will not believe how much they eat. Someday, maybe they will eat some nuts. And then, just like me, they'll have big butts. Esselstyns, meet the Esselstyns. Oh, you really want to see them. You'll want to be them. They are a real good time. We love the Esselstyns so much, you know?
AJ,
yeah,
you are so much fun.
Thank you. Come back anytime. Let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, well, terrific. So thank you so much, Rip. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you run and get the Engine-2 cookbook. Is this available at Whole Foods?
Most Whole Foods.
Most Whole Foods, but you can definitely get it on Amazon. Great pictures, family-friendly recipes, and check out the new Engine-2 products because there's 40 SKUs right now. We all learned what an SKU was today, not items, SKUs. He's got 40 different SKUs. And go to the Engine-2 website, engine2.com. If you're interested in signing up for Plant Stock, there's still some places left. But Rip has a whole touring schedule you can see on appearances, and he may be coming to a town near you. And he is one heck of a guy. And we're hoping they bring back his hot, sexy buns. But if you want to see his buns in person, you need to go to one of his events. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you so much, Rip. And thank you guys for watching another episode of Healthy Living Live. I'm Chef AJ. I make healthy taste delicious, and Rip makes it sexy. I know.